Hey folks, welcome back to Let's Play LSD. I'm your host TPC Gamer, and in our last episode, I went off on a bit of a psychology tangent. But hey, what can you expect? I'm playing a game based off dreams. It only makes sense that I would try and decode the concept of sleep and dreams, right? Anyways, it is currently day 204, which is about 2/3 of the way through the game. And of course we begin with a tech stream to mellow out yesterday's superb climax. You suck, LSD. And we're back in the room. And I'm not entirely sure where to go with this one, because the tech stream didn't really give me anything to talk about, and I really don't want to wander off on a tangent about fractions, which is how I began the video. Alright. Let's hope that today is a better day. Although it won't be hard. Because, yesterday was just a wall of text. So, the bar is pretty low. But hey, that's cool. I like a complete lack of challenge sometimes. Or, as one of my friends says, Como te gustan los mangos bajitos? That's like the only thing I can competently say in Spanish, by the way. It means you like the low-hanging mangoes. I really like learning phrases that only exist in one language or dialect. Sometimes. It's fun when it's other languages like 2CT-8, which is Finnish, and I just realized that I have at least one Finnish viewer. So, it's gonna be fun to see how my pronunciation is. And whether or not that phrase is as offensive as I was originally told it was. But yeah, picking up phrases from other languages is fun, and I don't know why. And it's especially fun when they're related to that culture. Like, I once had a friend describe my handwriting as a spell written by a ghost, which is not a nice phrase to have heard, but it's a really neat descriptor, I think. The best I can offer is the words out and nout, which mean anything and nothing, respectively. And don't let anyone from the south of England tell you otherwise. Now, are you going to come to play? I guess not. Fine. Oh, incidentally, I looked back over the footage of the last time I was there while the episode was processing, and I did indeed see the fox skittering around the skybox. I don't know why, but I certainly did see it. And now I choose to go to the toilet. What a mysterious game. I should go back to talking about languages and stuff, because this is an odd slant to have taken, or maybe I should go and bother some lions. If I see them, I absolutely will. Anyway, I don't know why I enjoy learning phrases in or from other languages, because it's pretty consistently just me who knows them, and I don't save any time, and I don't sound clever by using them. If I describe myself as 5 elements missing water, then I have to spend 5 minutes explaining what that means. So it would probably just be quicker to say, I'm broke. And I'm also lost. I could have sworn the lines are meant to be around here. Can you tell that I've misplaced my maps for this game again? But that's alright, it's kind of hard to navigate the natural world anyways, because what landmarks do exist are so unremarkable, you can't get a good feel for where they exist in relation to one another. It's just a little weird to be LPing a game and not having some kind of support notes beside me. Although, bit of a fun thing, the only game I've LP'd without any kind of map is The Suffering, because I played it so many times I know the layout by heart. Also, it's incredibly linear. But it's one of my favourite games, so shut up. I'm going to get off that train track before I get run over. Maybe? Game? Have you forgotten to spawn something, perhaps? I feel like this is a trap. Like, as soon as I go through this alcove, the train's going to spawn right in front of me and just end me. Oh, well, hush my mouth. I guess I was wrong. Not that you can really be ended in a dream sequence, but moving on. Oh no, that is interesting. Whenever I hear this particular music pattern, the up and down scales, I always seem to spawn near to or on top of water. Or do I? Is this like that thing when you only remember the times you look at the clock and it's in a pattern, but you forget all the other times because they're not important? Like it is currently 12:27. Entirely unremarkable. And is it me or was Sentryfish way bigger than usual? I actually don't know, because I haven't seen him for a while, and found I don't feel like going back through the older episodes to find him. It's a pain in the ass to go through and mark down where all the text streams happen, if I'm honest with you. And I'm not even going to screw around with Jaunty Ox today. I'm just going to go and link with him. Goodbye, Kyoto, and hello... Oh. Well, hello then. I guess my hypothesis about the scaling music and the water is immediately proven wrong. I had to throw myself through a gap in the world and move on to the next day. And it's always weird when I do that in video games. Like, it's like when you use a camera to look at the back of fixed objects to see whatever the staff doodled there, and I guess I'm not going to link anywhere. That's fine. Man, falling out of the game is one of the best things. Like, it's also fun when the staff put in special sequences if you happen to do it. Like, Katamari Damacy has the best example of this. If you fall through the floor and into the skybox, the king catches you and he puts you back in the level, all the while talking about how embarrassed he is that he hired such bad programmers who made such a terrible mistake. And it's called the Royal Warp, and the programmers put a lot of effort into doing it for something you're never supposed to see. And speaking of which, did I just see the Tengu flying around in a T-pose? Because I think I did. Pretty sure I showed it off in one of these videos way back in one of my very first runs. Like, they'll sometimes glide through the air in an inert T-pose and not fall to the floor. I mean, that didn't happen this time, but... Hey, it did jam me into the floor, though. As far as LSD not running as it should, it's not the best I've ever seen, but it's probably not the buggiest. I mean, it's pretty tame, with all things considered. And now we're out here in the natural world. It's eerie when it's quiet. Which is weird, because when I'm out and about, there's no music. But there is ambient noise, mind you. Now, my friend and I were walking home from the Machine Supremacy concert, and it was so surreal for the town to be entirely silent. That said, it was probably exceptionally noisy. We were just entirely deaf from the concert. And now as I come to think about it, we might have been bellowing at each other as we walked through town. I really hope we weren't both being that guy. And now I choose to run this way, because... to be honest, I'm doing it for an audio sync point. It baffles me how I've been recording this game on and off, admittedly, for actual years, and I still didn't find a consistent way of recording this game properly. And you know, I thought that there was meant to be something out here in this little alcove. Like, maybe that giant crystal's meant to be out here or something? I have been told there's a flower garden out here at some point, but... no idea where. Or is it over here? I don't know. All these desert texture tiles look the same to me. And there actually is a way of explaining my way out of that, but I don't think it would help to make things less awkward. It's like beginning a sentence with, "No, I'm not racist, but..." I mean, there's just no way of salvaging yourself from that point. Ah, now this bit I do know. I'm pretty sure the UFOs are meant to spawn here, and there you go. I think I saw a UFO. That's another Neon Flight track, incidentally, a bonus track from the first CD. It's pretty good. It sounds like a theme tune from Guilty Gear. Like, probably May. Or Jam. Or Bridget at an absolute stretch. Either way, you should check it out. You know, if you didn't already go and buy the album based off the one track I linked to in the last episode or whenever it was. Although, come to think of it, by the time I come to upload this, their second album should be out. So, hey, future me watching this in post, if you didn't already, go buy it. That way, at least one person will have been influenced by these silly videos. Anyway, if there's something you can do with these UFOs, I don't know what it is. So I'm just gonna keep going this way and maybe do something else. Like, maybe wonder aloud what I can do next. How meta. I wonder, if I go back this way, do they respawn? I hear them. Oh, hey, they do! Awesome! Alright, off I go. I don't need to screw with those guys again when the game decides it wants to let me. Although, I'm reminded of Fallout 3 again. I know, I'm incredibly late to the party on this one, but like Fallout 3 has one of those really uncomfortable moments where it just kills all the heat it has built up and nothing can salvage it. And you might think this is just me being random, but it's part of the UFO expansion pack, and that's what's brought it up, and that's why I'm thinking of it. There's this one mission where you get kidnapped by a UFO, and as you explore the UFO, you find the audio logs left behind from the previous people who were abducted. It's mostly wacky stuff, you know, people from the 50s who don't understand this wacky contraption. It's kind of cute. But then you find one audio log. There's just some guy crying, "I want to go home," over and over, and then it's followed by mechanical shuffling. And as I hear this, I go, wow, I am not having fun anymore. But then the DLC just keeps going for another couple of hours. And now I made myself sad again. Way to go, Andy. Didn't even get a new square. With that in mind, I think I will have one more dream and call it a day. Or in all likeliness, more than one dream, because... come on, it's me! You know how this story goes. Book 1. Chapter 1. In the sweltering heat of the Amazon jungle, the brave explorer Chumley Destin found himself tied to a post, surrounded by the spears of several angry natives. You might think this a bit of a sticky wicket. His companion, Lady Marshbank, certainly did. But to our hero, this was, simply put, Tuesday. Actually, you know something? I may actually run with that. That was a pretty good start. Chumley Destin sounds very much like an old-timey explorer, like with the pith helmet and all. Like, no matter what scrape he gets into, it's all just a jolly good lark and nothing brings him down. Stiff upper lip, best of British, and all that. It's like, okay, there's this old TV show I used to watch. It's called The Rotten Trolls. And all the characters were created by finding a silly-sounding place name within a 3-mile radius of the show's filming location, and then they developed the characters based on the names. That's a pretty fun thing to do, I find, because I don't have silly things like a girlfriend or a social life. And Chumley Destin is about an hour's drive from where I live, and that is absolutely the name of a brash adventurer type. And I also live near to Etley Heath, which... actually, that name sounds like Chumley Destin's companion, and she gets dragged along on all these wacky adventures. And this is actually the most creative I've felt in months. At least when I'm awake. I continue to be a prodigious genius in my sleep, but most of the story ideas don't carry over into my conscious memory. Pretty sad. Anyways, I think I'm pretty safe in Greyface, so I'm going to run and link into a wall and go outside. Nice work, CPC Gamer. You absolutely have your spatial reasoning down to pat. Anyways, I am going to go to the womb. And, to follow on from just what I was just now saying, I'm going to veer off the path and take my own route. And there's a word for this phenomenon of people wandering off the intended road and making a trail of their own, and that term is wanderlines. It only counts when everyone takes the same path and makes a beaten path of their own. You guys gonna do anything today? I guess not. Wait, both of you scaled? I thought it was only meant to be one of you. Namely, the one of you who was absolutely winning. I'll be honest, I almost don't want to look away now. Like, I know I've mentioned Salty Bet before now, but if you're unaware of what it is, it's basically just this, 24/7. Also, a nice little touch, they had a Salty Bet terminal running at DragonCon too, so yeah, it was a nice break. You know, you can still get your internet cocaine fix, but still only kinda socialise with the people around you. Oh, come on, LSD, this is getting kind of ridiculous. Like, I was humouring you by sticking around for so long, now you're just wasting my time. Or at least, more so than usual. And never mind that, then. And never mind content, either, because we are back to a chilled silence. You know, I'm noticing another pattern here. I tended to have a lot of spacey and glitched music in the last one in the overworld. This time, I have a lot of silence. And I am not going to link with that tree now that I come to think about it. I'm going to head off the edge of the world, help the game along its merry way. I mean, falling like this seems to help the dream sequence along. He says as he gets pretty much a true neutral ending. Oh, well. And, do you know what? No, hell with it. Let's have one more day. This will be my last day. Not that last one. I mean, I should have ended that last one, given the story I came up with. But, like the last video, I guess I don't know anything about proper pacing, so I'm just gonna keep this train wreck going. Luckily for me, I came here. Actually, because pagoda dreams are always the shortest. And the only time I do that in my dreams is when I find out that I'm in my house. Because otherwise, I will just dream and dream and dream for hours on end until some kind of stimulus wakes me up. Usually my cat coming into my bedroom window and jumping on my head. Which is unfortunate. I mean, I love her and all, but she has no concept of letting me sleep. Which is ironic, given how she sleeps for like 18 hours a day. And also, she's not my cat. I forget if I explained this. She belongs to the couple who live across the street from me. She just wandered into my house one day, and she never really left. So she's our cat now, I guess. Oh, and I don't want to talk to you. I don't even want to come here. Forget you, stalker man. Do you know, for the longest time, I had thought that holding eye contact with him was the way to have his flag triggered. Apparently it's coming into very close proximity. Do I? Ahaha! I knew I heard you guys! I'm gonna make good on my previous promise and go bug some lions. Yeah! Alright, that was a good ending. Join us next time for more LSD, and until next time, goodbye!